There we go. That was weird. I was afraid the whole stream was going to crash, but anyway, OBS did not want to hit record. But recording has begun, so I am recording this to put it on YouTube. So generally, I do one of these recaps of the community challenge. First off, for anyone that hasn't heard of the RimWorld community challenge, it's a challenge we run here for this community and branching communities. So feel free to run it in your own community or whatever, point people here or whatever. But it is a RimWorld community challenge, not a competition. And I think we've been doing it for about 3 months now. And generally at the end of each month, I'll go through and I'll read people's stories about their playthrough, check out cool bases and things like that. Let me get some P music going here. There we go. And I actually didn't get a chance to do so at the end of April's because of everything going on. I had a lot of technical problems and anyway, it was a mess. So I'm going to go over April and May. I might go through it a little bit more quickly than I did for the one in March. And then we'll talk about, as long as there's time, we'll talk about June. So what will be the next one? Yeah, so I'm going to announce that today as well. So I got that one set up yesterday. So for anyone that doesn't remember April's, oh, and another thing really quick, I'll go over it. Basically, you can now go read the information on the website, so you don't have to join Discord if you don't want to. Of course, you need to join Discord if you want to completely participate. But if you want to check it all out without, joining a Discord, you can do that now at my website. Again, exclamation RWCC in the chat to get that link, or if you're watching this later on YouTube or whatever, it'll be in the description, it'll be in the pinned comment, all those places. Or you can just go over to my website, adamverseverything.com. So anyway, if you do want to join in, just a reminder that when you join the Discord, you'll have this role request channel, and from here you choose what channels you want. And the channel for the RimWorld Community Challenge is the one that has Randy. So basically, you'll have this role request channel, and just click on Randy down here, and then it'll unlock all of the RimWorld Community Challenge channels, including the one with all the rules, the downloads, the information, everything you could need in there. All right, out for later. Yep. Is it out already? Nope. Or else I'd be on it. It was out at 7. All right. So let's see. We want to start at April's cutoff here. There it is. There it is. Okay. Let's go on Vegemite. Taco making. Goat. Welcome in. So for anyone that didn't see what April's was, so April's challenge was a modified tribal challenge that we actually got from the German community. So it was, we called it kind of like no DLC Neanderthals. So you didn't use Neanderthals because they're biotech. It was lower learning, lower research speed, and a few other things. That one was just a pure get as much wealth as you can sort of one. So we did want another spin off that in our community, and we put, to try to make cool bases if you could. I went all out wealth on this one. I think I got like 325, which is pretty awesome. So we'll go through pretty awesome for me. I was wanting to beat my old record, and I did, which was kind of crazy. We had some crazy things happen right at the end of ours, but anyway, it's further down. I'll get into that. All right. So let's see. When did we first get some submissions? And I'm really looking forward. I was reading some of May's results as I was going through here, and there's pretty awesome things around. All right, so the first one was submitted on the 6th. There was some talking ahead of that. Group of 20 explosives came around, followed by tribals. Let's see. Bell, 129,000. So again, challenge, not competition. But this month was about trying to get as much wealth as possible. This runs a little slow and nearly boring. The 4 original starting ponds in a single room base near an ancient danger, making beer, killing raids with trap tunnels, making prisoners. After a year, 2 more colonists and can start researching a bit more fast. They just finished clothing research 2 years in. They made the Outlander neutral, gave them some weapons, bought a shock lance, but never managed to use it. So one of the main things when you're trying to get all this wealth that we found out over the last few months is more colonists makes it much more easy to get more wealth, right? So the more colonies you get, the better. And so we had this epiphany where like you should go out and buy shock lances because you can at least get 1 prisoner from every raid or however many shock lances you have. The last time I did that, which was during this one, every single person I hit with the shock lance got brain damage. So, going Orcish, welcome in. Thank you, Orcish. Shallow Gene Pool, thank you for the 17 months. And Orcish, thank you for the 16 months. Thank you guys. Let's see. Once raids became bigger, can make more prisoners, recruit more colonists, research faster, restart smithing and guns, etc. So they had a pretty chill one. It looks like that base kind of looks familiar. A giant square, and yeah, they stayed kind of small. It looks like they went with mainly chain shotguns, which is interesting. All right, Truth Wizard, less stressful compared to the March challenge. Had a lot of trouble getting research off the ground. I feel like you had a little bit time. You got more wealth. Came up short in the end. Original colonists had a lot of relationship conflicts that didn't address quickly enough. Schedule adjustments things seemed to stabilize. So they got 68,000. And where did they settle? It's kind of interesting that some people decide to settle in different locations. So they actually settled on the north side of the Ancient Danger area. A very small building. Well, knows you never use lances, so it considers it to be cheating. Yeah, it was so crazy. Like every single time, bam, brain damage, bam, brain damage. Thank you, Mako. Okay. 99% infection save. They actually changed this recently too. So used to, an infection had to get to 101% before the person would die. So you could actually have it at 100% and tick to 100 and still save them. They finally cut that down to actually 100%. Crazy. Let's see. All right, we got another submission from Raw. Looks like we got some interesting base ones for this one. So again, in April, we were like, you know, if you don't want to push wealth, or, you know, even if you do want to push wealth, maybe try to make some cool bases. So looking forward to looking at some of the crazy bases down here as we go. Let's see. They prioritize base decor over wealth management in that run. They opened the Ancient Danger within the first half hour with an elaborate spike trap. So if I remember right, that Ancient Danger had mechs in it too. They used it for their base, called it the Egg. Spiked their wealth way early, causing mechs to land before they were ready. Left a defoliator on the map for 3 hours, and a psychic ship almost wiped out the colony. 80% of the colonists were women, and the psychic ship was hitting women. Managed to build a thriving drug empire. Recruited plant specialists, which stopped getting like 4 or 5 hours. Final base doesn't have a prison. Okay. All right, let's check it out. That's pretty cool. Like, it's so, I guess it's kind of like more realistic, right? But, well, maybe having gold fences on your patio isn't realistic, but you know what I mean? Like, I just never build like this at all. Can you imagine if I was building bedrooms like this? Let's go in Jabril. They have like the freaking royal bed, grand statue, golden fenced in porch with a nice leather chair, all symmetrical. Look at that. They even have their fencing stuff all set up. Usual. That wealth though, I know. That's what I'm thinking too. That's kind of cool though. This is how the base developed. So there's the Ancient Danger they called an Egg. I like that. And they have the tunnel going into it. They divided these up evenly on each side. No doors connecting that part. That's interesting. So what do they have going on in there? That's like their kitchen area. That's their dining and rec. Kind of cool. Wish you didn't want to stay blind. Oh yeah, I'll be starting it at 7. No doors, cause yeah, that's interesting. It goes up through here, and then into this part of their base. Huh? And they don't even have like any kill area over here. I guess. Well, they have another one up here too. That's interesting, but kind of cool. That's how things started out. Oh, that's the trap tunnel to open up the Ancient Danger. So, an alias. Aspen Arrow. 24 months. Almost an entire calendar year times 2. That's right. Thank you, Aspen. That's cool. I like that base. So that's the first pretty base that was submitted. All right. We got Knifey, who was talking up further up. I think he's the one that had someone survive. Sorry about the allergies. Yeah, it's a pretty cool base. There's some really cool ones further down that I've accidentally seen. I think you guys are going to be shocked. I was kind of shocked by them. All right, Knifey. 136,000 official. So there are different... I guess you would call them divisions. Official is following all the rules, only allowed mods, stuff like that. But there's an open division for people that like more. Come on, Eileen. Eileen, thank you for the 7 months. Finally awake in time for stream. Interesting to play without DLCs. Concentrate on wealth. Only on trying to build an attractive base. Honestly, starting to think you're psychologically unable to build something that looks nice. Turn into a flake farm with occasional inspiration used on grand sculptures. So they didn't get that many pawns. 11 pawns. That's a lot of wealth for 11 pawns, honestly. Check that out. They use the no kill box setup, where you come out through the doors and you have these little kind of like kill box. It was one of my favorite runs, actually, is the no kill box run, fighting things like that. Chef, 32 months. It's a long time, Chef. That's a lot of flake. 2,200 flake. That's actually a lot of wealth with only 11 colonists, though. Like 140,000 wealth. Nice job, Knifey. Viriatha, tried a save file, died twice. Not very good. Inspired you. Make something pretty. So played in open, used medieval mods. Okay. Thank you, Chef. Simeon, welcome in. See, these are the kind of bases that I feel like Tynan envisions. These are the kind of things that are always in like the trailers, you know? Little buildings, you got like walkways between and random things. So. Oh my god, I saw someone fishing. I feel like they're eventually going to add fishing to the game. I'm surprised they haven't. All right, let's see. Eversor, 168,000, also official. Let's see what he had going on. Living on the edge. I believe there was a couple at the start that broke up in the first 5 minutes. Everyone hated each other. Outlanders came in for a visit on the third or so raid and gave us some guns. Played no killbox style. It was pretty rough towards the end with the sheer number of tribals coming in. Ended up with 80 ducks and 30 pigs at one time, but winter came. He couldn't sustain feeding them. Slaughtered ducks to feed the pigs. No. Lost one pawn, 2 blood loss after a mech fight, and another to disease. So it's kind of cool seeing different people use different things to try to get their wealth for April's challenge. We're on D4? Yeah, me too, me too. How's it going, Finn? Tynan improved run. I did that. I did no walls at all. Hope the next mission has something to do with water. Yeah, I really would like that. I was going to Incognito. Thank you for the gift sub to Jack. Thank you, Incognito. Please add fishing. It's so surprising it doesn't have fish. I know there's mods, you know, but it's so surprising. It's like one of the only indie games I can think of that doesn't have some kind of fishing game. Let's check out Eversor's base here. So yeah, the double door, the double wall. I really like playing that way, honestly. This base looks very familiar. Looks like it could have been straight out of one of my games, but I mean that's what happens when you just build squares like we do. Hey, they added some beautification. Look at that, roses around. Looks like it went all with bolt action, which are really good. Corpse session. Have a meal on the corpse. Sorry, allergies are bugging me a lot. I don't know. My allergies have been so bad this week, and they're usually not this bad, but there's been like a really high pollen count and stuff. Nice. All right, this is Viriatha. After they have expanded their base more, they ended with 46,000 and wanted to make something pretty that they wanted it to look like a 15th century monastery. Let's check it out. I can't really zoom in too much on Discord. I definitely can see like the monastery area over there with the pews. I gotta ask, Viriatha, I don't know if you're here, you're gonna watch this later on. Why isn't there a 4th bench? Why? Is that bugging you? I should not be the one. I should open a browser. Yeah, I can do that. It's fine. It's going Doi, welcome in. Shizbabab, welcome in. But anyway, I shouldn't be the one that says things are like uneven or whatever, because I really don't care in my runs at all. But man, just one more. One more. Unacceptable. Third attempt. March was much easier. It's interesting. I saw Bunny post a ton of these. Some people were saying April was easier. Some people were having a harder time. I don't have to open one. Thank you. Here we go. There we go. A little pixely, but there you can see what I was talking about. Come on, Viriatha, just one more. Make a racetrack challenge. I got some fun ideas in mind. And then it's just people discussing kind of how to survive and the community challenge stuff. Bunny's 5th attempt. A ton of tiny things stacked nonstop that made it unrecoverable. Ouch. I hate to laugh, but Bunny has such bad luck with these. Bunny and Fluffy Towels have both had some pretty bad luck. explore the entire map. All right, let's keep going here. This complicates things. What's going on here? Oh, they were trying to build their trap tunnel and got hunted by a bear. Well, I know that happens. Right. Any others? There was a long time before anyone else posted. Vivaloft went with more harvest focus around this challenge. That's what I did too. I tried to get a lot of corn. A lot of corn. Lamod's gonna give June a go. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens to the June one. I finished making the scenario yesterday, so I'll tell you guys about that after we go through here. It's always weird to me, these mods that add the eyes and stuff. Or there's something uncanny. You know what's even crazier? I remember one time I installed a mod that added arms and legs. This is a long time ago, like 1.1. And it was the fastest I've ever uninstalled a mod. I installed a mod that added arms and legs, and I got in. They were like, I don't know, it was like moving like this, all over all of them. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. You might have seen the mod. I was like, nope. And I backed out and I got rid of the mod. So. Marie Morgan. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Thank you for using that here, Marie. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It was like they were all like going in like circles on, I don't know. It's very odd. It's very odd. Eldritch Horror kind of. Yeah, it looks weird. I don't know. Cursed mod. I've actually hosted some people that have used the arms and leg mod, and I'm like, nope. I mean, I still host them, but good and bad news. Val got stabbed in the brain. Have trauma savant. Trauma savant, for anyone that doesn't know, is a rare thing that happens when someone gets brain damage. It basically makes it so they can't socialize, but it increases. It's actually like a positive thing overall, increasing their other stats. Face is nightmare fuel. There should be faceless little dolls. Yeah. Oh, there's mine. So I got to 320,000. My goal was to get as many pawns as possible, and I used, as you can see, mainly bolt action. And my goal was just to see how high I could get off mainly growing stuff. So I had lots of corn and rice. We had like 26,000 corn almost, and over 10,000 pemmican. So there was my result from April. Feels like so long ago. Apparently my camera was bigger back then, but that was before all the technical crap. All right, I made it to 22 colonists. We had 2 deaths in mine. Let's see. We're almost down to some of the crazy bases. Pups McGee, 108,000. 3 hours in, overlooked one angle from the Outlander raid attacking multiple targets. Lost Kakam, and everyone else was near breakdown. Trashed the run, but following morning, posted the game over video from the Capable of Violence run. If he's going to keep going after that, I can keep playing after this. Went hard on bear taming and bear naming. That's kind of cool. So that's really nice of them to say. But yeah, there was a moment in the Capable of Violence run, the edited run, that's called Game Over ? Which is probably the closest I've ever been to losing. And I was almost in that run. So that's kind of cool that inspired them to continue. And 108,000 with just 9 people and a crap load of bears. Kind of cool. Force your colonists to haul a certain item like a dead body that's rotting. You just click on the colonists and then right click on what you want them to haul. So click on the colonists and then just right click on what you want to haul. There needs to be a spot that they can reach. They need to be zoned for it. And there needs to be like a stockpile that will accept they have. Doctor Recurrent playthrough with Trauma Savant. 188 manipulation. Yeah, crazy. Let's go to hamsters. Finally, welcome in. All right. Let's see. Another one from Bunny. Don't laugh at me. They managed to save all of the OG starting colonists. Lost one recruited person because she was dating a neurotic tortured artist who fed her when she was down with a plague. Instead of grabbing corn or rice from the field, he opted to put the foot of a corpse from a drop pod right in her mouth. She went on a mental break from this, lost her head to a jade club. Oh, man. So, even though this causes a great story, I do kind of suggest that you go into your food allowances and click on the starting one, which is lavish, and turn off corpses right from the beginning, and maybe also turn off raw food after a little while. But man, eat this. Wayland's did a recon run to try to figure out what he wanted to do on a longer run. Got 51,000 for his 10 hours. Dom says, saw my recap of March. Didn't know that was part of it. It was pretty fun. Go through what everyone did. Thank you. Hopefully people will enjoy this one as well. There's the video I made. See, Dom got a 26k one. Had in mind for this to be a recon run. Hadn't looked at the colonists or anything beforehand. Started out learning or leaning into the theme, going a full-on beer production. Diversified a little bit. Let's see, 3 long-range mineral scanners. So I found on mine, at least, that I've gotten so unlucky with mineral scanners that I haven't really I haven't tried to keep using them, but they actually use long-range ones, which is interesting. Darcy the Miner out, 2 or 3 runs, Art Flake, and some drafted hunting. Like a pretty standard base. Looks like they also maybe settled one of the typical places. Yearn for the flesh of the humans. That is you? Oh yeah. Pretty awesome. Spied a good 30k at the last 20 minutes. As far as pretty base, really went for a wondrously impressive barracks. Now, this kind of looks a little bit phallic to me. I'm just saying. I don't know if you intended it or not, but just a little bit. That otherwise is a pretty impressive barracks. That occurred to you as well. I kind of like what they did with the carpets and stuff, making different little areas. Instead of dividing them into rooms, divided by carpet. Plus 2 to beauty. Hey, surreal? Yeah. I won't be able to watch. I'll watch like the VOD of it later. Kind of cool though. Kind of cool. It's a mushroom. It's a sideways mushroom. Get your mind out of the gutter. Funniest bit was when a couple got married while someone else was having a food binge. Didn't manage to grab a video, but they were doing the vows. Meanwhile, someone was walking back and forth, shoveling 6 or 7 full meals down their gullet right next to them. Imagine that in real life. Literally, the ceremony is going on, and someone's just like getting tons of food from the reception area or whatever. Sounds like a wedding to you. Let's see. Amon made a bit over 3.5 hours. Everything was going well. It spiraled very quickly out of control. Just over 20,000. All right, I gotta tell you, I've actually looked at a couple of these by Drunken Gamer, and I laughed and then I felt bad because he would get such bad luck, but I could tell he was pretty annoyed by it. I don't know. I mean, I don't mean that in a negative way, but I could tell he was like legitimately getting mad because he kept having these things happen. And I felt bad that I was actually like here and just kind of like chuckling at the misfortune. You can even see here, I even replied, LOL. Hopefully that didn't rub any salt in the wound. You guys can go check this out if you want. It was rough. They've done that. Let's see. All right, we got Orange Akita 58k new poster. Thank you, Akita, for doing March's challenge. We'll have to, or I should say April's challenge. We'll have to see if they did one for May. Made it to the end. Attempt to win. You'll probably do at least one more. Played 1,500 hours of RimWorld. Still learning so much, especially after starting watching me. Hooray! Thank you. Poke around the challenge while at work. Didn't realize when you paused, it didn't pause the gameplay. Yep. Captured every raider that survived the spike traps. About an hour to the end, popped danger to the folk. Decided to join you, patch them up, and use them to help harvest massive field of psychoid. So yeah, that is something. The 10 hours, it does tick through even if your game is paused. So it's 10 hours of that save file being open. Getting frustrated at the May challenge. Oh yeah, the May one. I'm really excited when we get down to the May one. So I might divide these up into 2 recorded videos: April recap and May recap. So for anyone that just wants to watch one over the other, we'll see. Hypergerm, Val was captured. Wasn't paying attention, and they restarted. Yeah, losing Val early. Val is a pretty important colonist. Let's see. 4th raid ending. Fluffy Towels run again. God, I feel so bad for Fluffy Towels. What you get using those strange RimWorld faces. No. They also settled near the Ancient Danger. I think a lot of people did. Long line, everything go wrong. Oh, Fluffy Towels has a... Oh, okay, there we go. Kept like a log. That's pretty cool. Started a challenge by gathering lots of wood, setting growing zones, building basic shelter and such. Started building trap corridor for the ancient danger, making tribal wear and arrows. First raid, captured them. They were construction and mining. Grizzly hunted the colonists, ate a hare corpse instead, managed to spook it away by building walls. Order was finished, moved into the ancient danger. A lot of people did that. Second raid, 2 industrials. Do they mean Outlander? I'm guessing so. Maybe not. Maybe they both had industrious. Let's see. Cam and Sardine married. Puddinator. Give the 4 months. Thank you, Puddinator. Man falls out of the sky. He's tough and has good medical and intellect, as well as decent cooking and plants. Nice. Used a newly acquired gun. Killed the grizzly. Man from the sky dies of infection at 99%. Oof. A tough pawn that is good for your colony. Dying to infection at 99% feels bad. So I don't know what part it was in, but for anyone that doesn't know, just to let you know, you can cut off the body part that's infected if it's not something that they'll die from cutting off. So like if it's in a finger or an arm or a leg or whatever, you can't cut off their head or torso or such. But I don't know where that infection was, but something to keep in mind. Solar flare completely crippled the base. Let's see. Third raid, 67 tribals with recurve bows. That's where Val became the trauma savant we heard earlier, and they lost a colonist there. Let's see. Pretty standard. Cut off the head. It does fix the infection. That's, I guess, technically true. Hey, Superglue. Superglue, thank you for the 34 months. I actually just read your post, Superglue. I need to reply to it later, but good to see you. Glad you're still around, you know. Thank you, Superglue. Let's see. Germ. Getting screwed over by blights. Blight in the winter. Oh, here we go. This is where people start getting really creative building bases. I wouldn't be doing any kind of pixel art in my bases. I don't think I would have the creativity to figure out which one to do. That's pretty cool, though. That was Fluffy Bunny. It's a bunny kill box. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Bunny kill box. Let's go and Smurf. So you got the cover and the barricades there. You got the entrance going in here. It even has like different carpeting to you know, get the ears and the belly. This bunny is where we massacre our enemies. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Gingerbread. Unfortunately, the cook died in 2 hits to the scyther. Looks like it's back to food poisoning. Ugh. They already had someone out on caravan. Let's see. Bunny was trying to get this done and then lost, I guess. Or didn't have enough time. They didn't have enough time to finish it, but yeah, it looks really cool. So close to tipping 100,000 and lost right at the end. Let's see. Got on the juice too. Oh, Alexis. Video coming soon of the death throes. Tried to make a town and reclaim the ruins as a beer garden for the pawns. Witnessed 3 marriages in there. Had many parties and made the best beer garden on the rim. 2 melee blockers died. One was Alexis' husband. Check this out. Oh, that's quite zoomed in. I see. That's kind of cool. So they actually kind of hollowed out the ancient dangery area. Put jade fences around. And don't mind the corpse. Don't mind the corpse. Only on April 12th. Yeah. I'm trying to go a little bit fast. I don't want to miss anyone either. All right. How do people get stone done so fast? Let's see. All right. Let's see. First attempt going for wealth kind of ended at 6.5 hours. We kept going. Just don't have the heart because of how badly messed up. Let's see. Strive to survive. They usually play on strive to survive. So that's another thing we've had people ask, like, can we change the difficulty? You can. There's an open division, so you can. Part of this is definitely to challenge yourself. And if you lose early or you only get 10,000 wealth or something, that's still surviving for 10 hours at any wealth level, especially if you don't normally play it, losing is fun, is a victory in and of itself, because it's not a competition. So yeah, if you do try it out, I strongly suggest just try it at the default for the challenge, and then you know, if you want to do more of them, you can, or change it from there. But thank you, Italia. Thank you for the lurk. Sardine lost Sardine and 2 recruits. A manhunting pack of a raccoon. One of the idiots led into the base, even though the doors were locked, because their mood was a little yellow. They broke into a wanderer and almost got everyone murdered. Boy, don't I know who that is. All right, let's see what Bunny's base looks like this time. No bunny. No bunny kill box this time. But their base seems to be a little on fire. A little on fire. So again, if you would like to read through these, even if you don't participate directly by playing it yourself, still, you can join this. Just go to the Discord, go to role requests, and click the one that will allow you into the RimWorld Community Challenge channels. And you can, you know, look at these things as they're happening and talk and discuss them, whatever. But you can passively participate. You don't have to actually play along. Hey, York, there's the Discord link. There's another one of bunnies set up in the same place again. Corridor was a mistake. Out of all these pawns, none actually survived. I found that to be the case too. I've started the first few raids on these challenges. I've started just trying to kill them with my pawns, because it seems like even wood traps just seem to kill and maim way too many early on compared to like the crappy guns. In one of these, I think I even wounded one of them and then just like ran around till they fell down. Cold snap and a defoliatorship. What does this guy have? Stick bombs. So stick bomb is from what? Is that combat extended? One of those things. There's Wayland's Run. You can go check that out if you want. I'd check one of these out too. It's combat extended. Turn the Ancient Danger into a beer cellar. It's kind of interesting that multiple people decided to change that into like a beer garden or beer cellar. Found it appropriate for the German scenario. Fun and insightful challenge. Made it to the end with around 110,000 wealth. Happy with the outcome. You never play on naked RimWorld, nor on losing is fun. Way to push yourself. That's what I was just saying. Push yourself and see the limits of playstyle. Got lucky with traps. Had a lot of prisoners. It's quite the grind on the pawns. Endured a lot of wear. The cam and another pawn ended up with peg legs. Lots of scars. Lost eyes. Lost ears. So yeah, it's kind of interesting that multiple people chose to live in the Ancient Danger, and then others, multiple chose to use it for beer. Tribals can come with stick bombs and can come with musket type guns. Yeah, that sounds rough. New to the Discord, Wolf Bandit. Thank you for joining in. Tried the first challenge, had a lot of setbacks, and nearly lost colonies several times. Serious micromanaging to stop bleeds. Managed to lose only 4 pawns through the entire run though. Enjoy the challenge, force them to play it drastically differently. Again, you know, so many people setting up near the Ancient Danger. And on this specific side of it too, which is interesting. This map, I believe, though, didn't have a lot of rich soil, so it makes sense, because I think this was one of the only spots, if I remember right. Trying to build a cabin and can't even get to the kill box. April's challenge is a hell. So I feel so bad about laughing at Bunny's attempts every month. I don't know why it always goes this way for them. But I miss the quality of life mods. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Yeah, talking about missing mods again. All right. Another one from Bunny. Lost Val to an infection. Man, Bunny keeps losing people to infections. It's rough. Like I said, some of the things you can do is cut the infection if it's not in one of those like vital places. Make sure that you're tending them in a lit area, and you know, maybe throw them in the best bed, stuff like that. Let's see. Lost 2 of their starters. This one guy was running around feeding corpses to people. Checked and realized he's a cannibal. Time is almost up. Only 2 OG people out of the 4 that lived. The thing about Bunny's runs though is the base looks different every time. It's going Reezy, welcome in. So This is what I was talking about earlier. I feel bad. I actually checked these ones out. Drunken Gamer, I'm on here. He was getting really unfortunate and really bad luck, and I would watch them and I would start laughing a little bit, and he was getting pretty angry. Sorry, Drunken Gamer. Razy, 54 months. Remove liver infection. It's in the torso. Just cut out the torso. Thank you, Reezy. That's a long time, man. We got some other really cool bases down below. I can't wait till we get some of the really big, crazy ones. Let's see. Perno started well. Bador and Sardine as a couple. Lix and Val saw that love and came back together. More strangers started joining after some prisoners wanted to join. Having 8 colonists doing well, fencing off raids without big injuries or unfortunate events happening. Bador was hunting too far from home and got attacked by a lynx, though. That was the beginning of the end. Soon after, infection and malaria. Malaria almost hit everyone. No doctors. Lost all the starting pawns, and one of the 3 others left to be a wild man. Oof. Man, sometimes you just don't find things you need, like doctors. Man, look at that. Everyone dead, and then the one breakdown. Ouch. No doctors, infections, then everyone's hit with malaria. Ouch. Let's see, Satina, Val, it's been good. Man, so many people losing to infections at like high percentage. Crazy. It seems to be Val a lot of the times, which is a very important pawn. So you usually play RimWorld on Community Builder, just want to play the game like Sims, have a little colony, get invested in their mood. This challenge is a big change for them. It was a ton of fun though. Wish I had done the last month's one. All right, let's see. Mini Mongoose, 184,000. Here we go. Check this base out. That's crazy. I would never be able to build something like that. I mean, if I had like a template, but I wouldn't do that, you know? Val, because that's the name of like 3 of your D&D characters. Trying to look at the screen. That's pretty crazy. Like I would not be able to build something like that. So just remove the head. All right, let's see. 184k. Have always wanted to make a base shaped like a cat, like even before I ever got the game and was just watching others play it. Wait, this was my entire goal of the run. I sat down and played for 10 hours straight and forgot to even take bathroom breaks because I hyper fixated so hard on making this cat. There's a very full and very flat soda next to me. Whole area roofed. I think it is. Yeah. I'll have to check though. Your goal was different. You turned the difficulty way down. They played on Chillax, which is, or on Phoebe Chillax, which was just fine. And Builder to make the cool base. So that was one of the April things was feel free to turn down the difficulty and just make something awesome. None of the colonists died. Research got up to microelectronics. Hour before the end. Started your base at the cat's neck. Had the head shape planned first. Wanted to include the ancient danger as the booty. Couldn't decide what you wanted to put in there. All right, let's check it out again. Yeah, they have some support in there, I can see. So they have columns around, so. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so it is a roof. That's a large room too. Man, that's kind of crazy thinking about that. That's usually like the size of a whole base. They have the rice stored in the ears. I can't hardly tell what the room is in the eye there. Oh, it's beer production. Beer production. The cat's eye is producing beer. Kind of cool. Even Whiskers, they have fences going out for Whiskers. Cool design, yeah. I like that. Thank you, Mini Mongoose. That was really awesome. Really awesome. And Mini Mongoose even saved the save file. So if anyone wants to play, continue this playthrough in a base that looks like a cat, the cat cries beer. All right, Eversor with another shot at it. This is open division, so open allows you to use like mods and whatever you want. 186,000. So Eversor used combat extended and some other mods, but still went with the no kill box style. Tribals are very deadly with C, even early. Tribals eventually show up with muskets, blunderbusses, and explosives. Ended up reloading a lot. Their goal was to have a different kind of layout rather than actually get a ton of wealth, so. Oh no, right. Your cat's name is Phoebe? That's kind of cool, yeah. Prison base. right. So yeah, Wayland's posted his run in April. So you guys can always go check his out if you want. There's Ada's run, 83,000. Settled in the wrong place. The trap to shotgun tunnel for defense worked until it didn't. No colony losses until the final mech breach raid, when they ended up kind of losing the run. Tried to do bedrooms, beer, and drugs to raise wealth. Never really worked out. The final act of the surviving doctor was to murder an innocent prisoner. It's just life on the rim. So settled in the... Oh, I see. So the starting area, if I remember right, didn't really have like geothermals. They didn't use it anyway. And not a lot of rich soil. What's the PR I got? Oh, are you wondering what wealth I got during the April one? I got 325. 325. So they settled really up here in the north, like close to the edge, which is always scary to me. Like, you just don't have time. Like, when something like this breach spawns, you just don't have time. Going Orish. Welcome in. The final act of the doctor is murdering a prisoner. Some minor betrayal captures Smurf and Adam at the same time. Some crazy reason Smurf was staggeringly ugly and Adam was not. Reported as a bug. I didn't see this. No, again, it's a self-challenge. Like this maze, I was nowhere near the top end on submissions. Like, I had a really terrible thing happen in mine. We lost almost all my Boomalope, which we'll get to that one. And I ended up losing the run. Everyone was dead with like an hour left. So it just happens. It's just a self-challenge, not a competition. So. But yeah, I got a lot of wealth on the April one. Wow, staggeringly ugly Smurf. All right. Carlos, 73K, played for the official. 9 hours in, got an infestation inside of your base. Couldn't handle. Reloaded, said they're in the runway. First recruit, Choco, was quite nice. Ended up married and later divorcing Sardine. Another interesting recruit was Boa, I'm going to go with. Had awesome stats, was frail with cataracts. Saw that he was unable to manipulate during a food poisoning. He lost one of his arms in a social fight. For his birthday, he got bad back. Good lord. Allied the Outlanders. Got a legendary LMG from a quest reward. Man, out of all the legendary weapons to get, an LMG. I mean, it's still... Like, legendary LMG is still fine, but... And bought some rifles. They had a Thrumbo horn, which they got because the Thrumbo suffered from a heart attack and died on their map. The devs haven't responded. The Hunt Smurf atrocity. That was my payback. You know what it was my payback for? I'll tell you. There's this big streamer, as big as in like he averages thousands of viewers, German streamer, and he was playing RimWorld, and he was actually watching our schedule guide on stream, and he and a couple people in the chat was like, "Hey, you have a really good voice for these guides. You should do some other voiceovers sometimes." And instead of Smurf saying, "Oh no, that's Adam reading that," Smurf made a heart and was like, "Thanks." So it was like, yeah, no problem. But anyway, hey, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But that's the reference for the Hunt Smurf. First, a notebook made a few thousand newspaper clippings. Have decided or dedicated one of your walls. Issue. Potato. I think for the 8 months. All the RimWorld stories and content. Yeah. I had fun with it. I don't know how popular this is for others, but thank you guys for hanging out during this. We'll be doing some other stuff tonight, obviously, and some Diablo 4, but it's fun. It's fun. That's one of the things about this, right? It's a community challenge. So community coming around these monthly challenges and just having fun with RimWorld. And it can be a way to make the game no longer stale for you as well. Like if you've gotten kind of bored with it or whatever, I find having other people to commiserate these crazy things with adds a lot to it. You're claiming all the royalties for Hunt Smurf because it was your idea. All right. Let's see. Vibeloft. 31K. Found this scenario harder than the one from March, mainly because of the lack of comfort from the get-go. No beds, no clothes, little food. Still managed to get to the inn. Satisfied about that. Don't think you'll go for another one in for the April one. Trouble prioritizing crops in the survival situation. Planting cotton, didn't want to risk gathering leather, but not quite enough for proper clothing. Went for tribal wear and a few hats. Val and Lakes became a couple with Sardine and Hukam. Rescued a prisoner from a bandit and named a wild man Naro with a good set, or tamed rather. Cam and Sardine got married. That happened a lot in a lot of people's runs, it seems. Roosevelt got rejected proposal. Micromanagement became a bit difficult with this amount of people and the level of difficulty. Plus the point where a big raid came in, drop pods with heavy SMGs. Had to watch them burn down almost all the crops in the middle of winter. Then the infestation happened. Oof. Then they got plagued. Open the ancient age in the last 10 minutes. Holy crap. What a crazy amount of unfortunate events all together. Going classy? Not feeling Dark Dungeon 2 that much? No, I still like Dark Dungeon 2, but I'm gonna... This is the only day I can do this. Because the May month just ended and it's June 1st. I have to get the new one out. And then Diablo 4 is coming out, so... But no, I still enjoy Dark Dungeon 2. April's when you got the rescue Jesus the healer and a quest. We'll be able to play till late tonight. I'll be playing at 7 when it's launched. Hype 2. How's it going? Stuff? Tier 3, 65. That's the first 65 I've seen. Thank you, Stuff. Glad you're still around. 65. That's nuts. Very much appreciated, though. Figured out it was due to you having 25 different ad blockers enabled. Somehow messed up the Twitch. 25 ad blockers. Might want to look into Piehole instead. That seems like it might be easier. That's P-I-H-O-L-E. Since the dawn of time. Alright, let's see here. Here's Smurf's 10 hour from the German version. Lots of beds. We got a progress renderer. Check that out. I like watching these. So I made one of these a long time ago, but the reason I stopped using it as much is there is like a micro stutter every time it takes a screenshot, and then if you put them too far out, you get this like strobe effect, which I didn't really care for. But all right, let's check it out. So Smurf kind of started in a little bit further north than a lot of people as well. Actually decided to settle up near the close to the edge where there was more rich soil. Never got it to work for you. Oh wait, this is a different map. This is a different map. That's right. I forgot. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, was there really that much rich soil up there? But no. Different map. Just waiting to see all these beds and stuff start coming in. There we go. There comes the massive beds. RimWorld time lapses. Oh, hang on. Centipedes got in. Some centipedes got all the way over here. I think there was some kiting going on there. A lot of beds. Aspen. Some mistakes were made. Why is Adam in prison? Bug. Betrayed a caravan at the 9.5 hour mark. Shock lance, a Smurf, and an Adam. Smurf was staggeringly ugly. Adam was kind. Obviously, the game was broken. What's happening beds? Because the challenge, part of the challenge is to get as high wealth as possible. So depending on what kind of colonists you have and whatnot, the more things you can make. Like if you have a lot of people that are good at construction, then making as many like shelves and beds or whatever you have material for towards the end helps get your wealth up. Basically, anytime you improve on something, it increases wealth. So like turning leather into clothing or chairs, or turning wood into beds, all that is going to increase wealth from the raw resource. Yeah, things with quality especially. Like you hit a masterwork shelf, it's worth so much more than the wood that went into it. Appropriate action was taken when I tried to break out. You sent all your colonists over to beat me up. You ever been so sweaty that you just let a turkey peck you to death? Val is wandering around in a psychotic state because of poor mood. The final straw was they were sweaty. Gim, 45k. First ever playthrough on losing is fun. Failed attempt on taming a boomalope at the start. Ooh, very difficult to recover. At one point, Cassandra was only sending a single melee raider with a 12-day gap. Wow. Never had so many breakdowns, which eventually led to Val getting kidnapped. Man in Black showed up she was being carried out. Couldn't do enough damage to stop them before reaching the edge of the map. Not long after that, Cecily recruit a better chef from the downed enemy, only made through stone cutting and complex clothing as far as the research are concerned. That's a rough run, Training raiders into humane leather, that's right. Orange Akita with another. Much better go at it for the second run. Been playing a little closer, or paying a little closer attention to both Kakam and Val. Towards the end, Kakam died right at 10-hour mark, and Val was kidnapped from a breach raid right at the end. Another really small flipper. It's interesting to me too because like it's over 100,000 wealth with just this many colonists and this small of a base. It's kind of crazy. There's quite a few that are like huge bases with like 15 colonists that don't get much more, like 120, 140. Let's see. Jenna, we have one, 97,000. First run in the challenge, start off with everyone loving each other, which is always nice to start with. Boy, didn't I make sure that didn't happen for you guys in May. So when I was designing the characters for May, because I'm the one that did that part during May's, or got the scenario ready, and when I was designing, I was like, what are some traits that I can put on here that don't seemingly seem like, you know, that they would really impact relationship that much, but they're like ticking time bombs for relationship problems. Maybe I did that a little bit too well, because God, the May one, there was just absolute chaos as far as relationships go with those first few pawns. All's going pretty well. Decided to settle up north instead of right next to the ancient danger. Sardine and Kakam eventually split up, and during a rough high psychic drone, Kakam got remarried. Cheered Sardine up enough to forget about being divorced. Had a event in the middle of a mech raid, no trap set up for. Restarted wealth at hour 6. Went for animals and drugs this time. Another small base. But yeah, I mean, look, 97,000 with this base. That's crazy. It's actually crazy to shove that much wealth in there. Xanath, 47,000. After seeing Mongoose's awesome cat base, here we go. We got another drawn one. Had the brainwave of doing an Easter pixel art base. Set it down to Colony Builder. Spent way too much time planning the thing out. Started out pretty slow, taking what they could. Learned a lot from estimating room space of this run. All right, let's check it out. All right, I gotta say, for me, this looks like maybe like the Octorok thing from Zelda, which is not a bad thing. But that's when I see it, I didn't think of basket immediately. I was like, oh yeah, it's like an Octorok or something. Some kind of octopus or squid-like creature. It kind of like has a bow. But no, I can kind of tell. You thought the exact same thing. You definitely, when they say it's a, like, if you didn't tell me, like a keychain, if you didn't tell me it was supposed to be a basket, I would definitely think it was like an Octorok or like Pokemon or something. Yeah. I like it. It looks cool. And these bedrooms are actually pretty fancy. Look at that jade, all the different colors, and it's pretty functional too. Like, there's enough space in here. I'm guessing that's part of what they were talking about. There's enough space to make the rooms the right quality. There's actually enough space in these rooms to get good quality stuff. Like, that's a good quality rec room. It's pretty awesome. I would not be able to make anything like that for sure. Pretty awesome. The eggs were what sold you on using that one. They're definitely smaller than you'd think. Surprised at how tight. Yeah, here we go. Also, I noticed them doing this to the tables, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, I think it's painted. I think it's paint. Well, I mean, I guess you can tell there, right? Oh, you mean that's not jade? It's painted green. Gotcha. Look at that mood. Psychic drone. Suboptimal. Infestation early in their storage room. Val is no insult fight. And Fluffy Towels had some rough time too. The guys with stick bomb really complicated things. Yeah, I really like that table setup. It's not like efficient, but I really like the design of it. The 4 like loop tables and the art in the middle. Yeah, I like that. Looks nice. I haven't seen that used like that before. This seems suboptimal. All right. Pyro, almost 200,000. Love's in the air. Val and Lakes were jealous of Kakam and Sardine. being a couple, so they decided to hook up. Val was so jealous he had a murderous rage and tried to kill Sardine. God, a transport pod crash gifted us another prisoner and an assault rifle. Tribals felt blessed. Colonists turned out to be Yuko. Made her addicted to Luciferium after the Ancient Danger opening. Unfortunately, she later died due to a mad herd of Muffalo. Green and Darcy then hooked up. It's a love colony. 3 couples in the first couple hours. Constant diseases took out the best cook. Lips. Sadly, Sardine was outside of the walls of a tribe hit, ultimately leading to her being kidnapped. Cam broke down on ambrosia, becoming addicted in the process. It was slow gaining prisoners and colonists till you raided a tribal base. Came away with 4 prisoners. That's kind of, I thought about doing that too. It's kind of nice to see. So I'm wondering if you have a higher chance to down enemies on those other bases. I don't know. No idea. 4 prisoners from a tribal base. Growing drugs, Devil Strand, and killing Thrumbos were key to increasing the wealth. Another method they tried was going and mining gold and components. Toxic Fallout came in year 2. After that, tried hardest pushing wealth where they could. All right, so a little sloppy. Almost got to 200,000. They really wanted that 200k. Again, though, like, look how small this setup is for 200,000 wealth. Like, my footprint of my base was friggin' enormous. It was like 3 times bigger than this, and I didn't get that much more wealth, you know? See the bases? Yeah. So I'm excited to show you guys June, because I picked a kind of map setup that I don't think a lot of people have played on, and I think it's going to force some more interesting bases. So I'm excited to show that one. We're going to keep an eye on the time here. We might only get through April's recap, and then I'll show June, and then we'll do May's maybe tomorrow. All right. We got Velks, 57,000. First, losing his fun, and 800 hours of playtime. Afraid of how difficult it was. After this attempt, you can see why you never tried it. Also think it was needed for your own growth in the game. Don't really mess with developer mode and mods in playing. This time, make sure to keep yourself to the challenge. Believe that you'll retry the challenge after seeing many people have much higher scores. You can see faults and flaws in the architecture and overall setup. Love little tidbits like that. Oh, the barracks thing. Always like learning and adopting things into their own playstyle. Overall, I had 3 sets of marriages. Saw some people being amazing and coming in clutch on some crazy situations. And congrats to everyone for finishing. Yeah, it is nice to see different people's playstyle, like even in their bases themselves. Okay, I wonder if you're gonna be lost. Oh, when I play Diablo 4, maybe. Insect lure. Fluffy towels again. Dangerous. A marriage. Oh, you love to see the red clothing. I'm guessing that's Devil Strand. Maybe it's not just died. Bugs versus mechs. Yeah, I was wondering if that was gonna happen. The insect strat is currently backfiring. So this is a combat extended kind of kill box, right? That's like barbed wire. So barbed wire in those mods, I've never used it. Does it just literally give them some bleeds when they cross it? Just a little bit of damage? I would guess. It is barbed wire after all. Lightning may not strike twice in the same spot, but infestations do. Diablo 2. Fluffy towels, up to 150,000 that time. Nice. Run made you realize how bad tribal combat is with the combat extended. Managed to pull through without any deaths. This is open division. With a couple reloads due to very bad RNG. Tried your best to make a pretty base being the goal, but the results were mixed. Started painting way too late, for instance. 4 couples got to get together during the run. 3 of them went through with it during the challenge, the marriage. Thankfully got a massive second Devil Strand harvest in. Harvest it prematurely to fit the time limit. That's another thing too, is like trying to figure out, do I have enough time to replan or not with these? Because you only get that 10 hours. Last hostile event Cassandra sent was a psychic ship. I like to ignore since the challenge is almost over. Fortunately, couldn't get enough research to make flake, so stuck to tea, beer, and statues for wealth. With all shotguns that time. Still looks kind of nice. They got the separate bedrooms that you won't see in my run. Again, using the Ancient Danger. That's a big Devil Strand field. But like all this, right? Like that, it's tough. Like I had the same thing happen to mine. I had a huge area that just went unharvested because there just wasn't time. CE barbed wire, you think, is just like fences with no cover and more HP. Gotcha. That doesn't hurt them as they cross it. PT 140,000 trying out no pause as well. Died at 1 minute left. But quite a few false starts. Colony really got going. Got a lot of joins and captures very early on. Founders lack skill. Almost 10 hours handling everything so far. Mostly the long trap tunnel. Last rage was a sapper that came to the door on the east. No turret there. Everyone died with literally 30 seconds left. Just slows. Gotcha. That's so crazy. Everyone died with 30 seconds left. All right. Oh, check this out. That's really cool. I'm going to open that in more detail. Let's read about what the crap's going on with that base, but it already looks really awesome. I don't know why. Like, those like organic like bases like that just look really cool. Live just for another minute. On the wall base. Peak wealth was 87,000. The base failed almost at the 10-hour mark as well. Tried a number of times to get a ridiculous base last month and went so far to nowhere. Didn't bother to even post. Went a little bit better. Decided to build your base out of the central mountain at first just because there was an easy starting base to work with. Then got the idea in their head to hollow out the whole mountain. Got finished with the hollowing out, but the occupation was just more than 10 hours allowed. Pawns paired up quickly. That seems to be really common with Aprils. Fought off attacks. Got to cook fairly easily. Let's see. Got a promising prisoner. Still in bed recovering. Sardines started a jailbreak though. Recovering pawns and weapons were right outside the jail door, so the escaping prisoners quickly armed themselves with rifles and great bows. In the process of putting down this attack, Val, who had married Lakes, was killed and a fire was started. From there, it was a slow rebuild. Yeah, this looks kind of awesome. So instead of doing like pixel art or a specific base, it just literally went with whatever the shape of the large hill was and just hollowed it out and just used that. They're just living alongside infestations. Do you see that though? That's kind of nuts. So this entire area is their barracks, which is really insane. They were smoothed out and they have an infestation in the far end of their barracks. There's a cave-in right there with a bunch of dead bodies around. There's all kinds of stuff going on. I really like this for some reason. I don't know why. They got the trap tunnel just leading right into their barracks as well. Kind of cool. Cool. There's a lot going on there. That seems like a pretty unique run and a hollow out. Like, you can only hollow out hills to live in, you know? Not mountains, but hills. All right, Gav running into 80,000. Spent the last hour building the burn tunnel and never used it. Number one thing you learned from this: save scum a lot more than you thought. Something they need to work on. Well, they had like a traditional kill box set up and all that time. It does suck when you like build. I've had that happen where you build a burn tunnel and then you don't end up using, like, there's no frontal raids that come in. It's just a shot in the dark, as we say. Whoa, another, check this out. What? That's crazy. All right, let's read about this. Zan. Here's the bunny base. Pixel art bases are fun when you remember to change things. Awfully is fun, which we're about to do for the first 2 hours. Couldn't understand why everyone was getting food poisoning. You got much larger raids than expected, and they checked it. Things went pretty fast from the start. Had the bow in the top ear. Done. Around the 4-hour mark, came and started. Okay, they did put it down on like an easier thing. If you guys want to read the rest of this, you can. I need to cut some of it out though, unfortunately, because there's just so much. I might only get through April's in this. That's kind of crazy though. Another a whole bunny base. What we got going on here? We have a research room in one of the ears. That's pretty cool. The bedrooms and the bow like that. I wonder what size those ended up getting, like what quality and stuff. It's pretty awesome though. You got your kitchen over here going down into storage for the other ear. And the rec room with the pool tables for eyes. Future, stay tuned. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So, like that. Kind of interesting, like watching the pawns live in an area like that too, you know? Like, anyway, Law Keeper Zand. Thank you for doing that. Max sentence 86,000. First time playing with no mods DLC in a very long time. First time playing on Losing is Fun. 7th attempt at that for the month. Only one that made it 10 hours. Kidnapped locusts from the tribe of Braga very early on, as they were a very good cook. The majority of the playthrough had no one to trade with, so started using the on to destroy excess wealth rather than trading. Destroying wealth. I had quite a few psychic ships. I think I had one. Some ducks self-tamed. Managed to turn a rough outlander neutral. Security of the base started as a spike trap hall and a burn tunnel. Suggestion is save file that is in commitment mode. Yeah, I did that last month, and then people asked me to do one that's not commitment mode, so this month's isn't, but color-coded mood bars allowed. I think color-coded mood bars is on the allowed list, isn't it? I feel like it is. Is it not? I don't know if Smurf's there. Smurf, do you want to check? Very fun, hard challenge. It is? I thought so. I thought so. So yeah, if Max, if you end up watching this or whatever, it is. It's allowed. I'm gonna go with Moo on this one. First time joining the challenge, joined quite late, 79,000. So this is almost the end of the month. Time this month for another go at it. Already have improvements circulating in your head for the next month's challenge. First time playing Cassandra Classic. Always played Randy. Tends to get quite ruthless. Runs have ended with triple raid at the same time or such. First time making a 3x3 table. Also tried making something more interesting than a box or an assortment of boxes as they usually do. All right, let's check their base out. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, let's make that larger. Yeah, it's a pretty cool base. I like that. And you know what? With the Toxic Fallout going, it feels even more right for some reason. that green hue fits pretty well because it's like a clover or something. Flies and the tables on the rosy cheeks. Oh, I didn't... Yeah, I thought they were eyes. I'll have to go back to it. This is pretty cool. I like this. This also seems like something... These little areas seems like something that would be in a trailer. Thank you, game. There's the official mod list. Yeah, I like that base. That's pretty cool base. They have all their animals shoved down there. Not counting the final mech breach, only had one other time the run was actually in danger. Outer walls had already been built when a huge pack of maddened Arctic wolves came into the map and started patrolling the outside. Just then a pair of visitors decided this time of the year must be nice in the colony, came inside. Their infinite wisdom, they let the wolves in. Oh boy, I hate that so much. I wish visitors respected, without mods, respected locked doors. Yeah, but I really like that base. That's pretty cool. There we go. Sneaky Squid, 122,000. Rough start. Sardine decided to break up with Cam almost immediately after they started. Bad mood followed, and it didn't improve when the first raider turned out to be Val's brother. Luckily managed to capture him. Man, what are the odds there? Due to your poor prison management, he later died to an infection. No one was happy. Mental breaks were a constant part of the little settlement. If it was not for the challenge, you might have given up at that point. But losing is fun. Things soon improved when we managed to capture that early Thrumbo with your bare hands and gifted it to an Outlander. Don't mind the heart attack. We did all the work bringing that Thrumbo. Another Thrumbo with a heart attack. I wonder if that's seated in there. I don't remember that happening in mine, though. Having a Thrumbo come in with a heart problem, but maybe I just killed it. I don't remember. Sardine turned out to be a real problem causer. She later overreacted to an insult Darcy made, resulting in a deadly social fight. One would think that an insult about your head is not worth killing the colony cook over. Sardine says, "You talk smack about my hands? I have both your legs as punishment." Cam finishes up the tomb for poor Darcy. Comes to the decision that it is time to get back together with Sardine, even though Cam already had a new fiance. He decided to propose to Sardine instead. He knew it was best to stay in good graces of the colony's kill-happy leader, your ex-girlfriend, so he put Savannah to the side so he can move in with Sardine in her royal bedroom and live happily ever after, always sleeping with one eye open. Oh, that's really old, that command. Go. It's crazy that Another pretty standard base. This is how I used to build. I used to do bedrooms like this a lot. Interestingly, they have 5 little barracks, so. Is human privacy purely for no bonding? In that playthrough it was. Which playthrough was that? That was the Incapable Violence. Yeah. In general it's not, but that one was. There's another Smurf post. Forgot to post pictures getting killed. Died at the 9-hour mark to a mistake. Overconfidence. The sun being in your eyes. Yeah, right. Cut every corner everywhere. Cut so many corners. Only had wealth and nothing else. Died at the 9-hour mark to a huge pile of scythers. Should have still been able to find a way to defeat them, but you failed. 302,000. So how early did you start making wealth this one? Like literally at the beginning? Usually I try to get a wave of oh my god, do I need to try this? Wow. Anyway. Usually I try to get a few recruits so I start pushing, but trying to kite scythers there. Starting to break. High risk, low reward play. Alright, where are we at here? Last heal. 154,000. Forgot how much you hate, just utterly loathe vanilla tribal start. It's been forever since you've done one. This run reminded you of wine. Nothing went horribly wrong. It was just very slow. So that month was even slower than normal tribal because they had slower learning and slower research. Come smell chicken. Okay. Should be good though, right? Settled not by the ancient danger, but just north at the ruins. Had thoughts of maybe using that geothermal eventually. It was a decent starting place for grumpy colonists to start very important work of growing hops and drinking beer. I'll be there after this one. Not pretty, but we got to 10 hours without making a burn tunnel. Really anything but scattered doors to bob and weave out. It's always fun to play that way though. A very vertical base. Long trap tunnel. All right. I'll be right back. All right, check this for Mod Wife, and then we'll finish this. Back. Wood base is so nice. Sure, everyone loses their first colony to bases. I'd be surprised if anyone's first base looks like this. Wealth management. So that's another one of Smurf's I'm guessing this run failed. It looks pretty dire, we'll say. All right. Pretty RimWorld. Do you think wealth 81,000 proves it? That's good, especially if you're new. Had a lot of fun, including a attempt at crop circles. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. First trial run only used wood. Ouch. I like these crop circles. Ended predictably. All right, we're almost done with the April one. Quasar, let's see, 55k. Everything was going amazing until you hit a toxic fallout, which destroyed the crops, killed the animals. Good lord, our people starved to death. One-time colony of 19 dwindled down to 10. It's like being forced to cannibalize some of the colonists. Wow. Now that's a RimWorld. That's a RimWorld playthrough, all right. We were turning around until a mech breach raid jumped in and 3 people gave up and went feral. Immediately after the mech breach, collected all of your colonists into the hospitals as the barracks. All the storage burned down while someone started a fire spree during the mech raid. Jesus. I had not completely transitioned to marble walls. Then, while half your base was 800 degrees, got drop potted into the hospital. Jeez, man. Quasar, I'm sorry to laugh, but Jesus. It was like everything went wrong. Thankfully, the kidnappers decided to run through the traps and died. Finally, with the crops replanted, your feral colonists brought back, and a few more dying to malnutrition and infection, stabilized at 5 colonists, down from 19 at the 10-hour mark. 10 out of 10, classic RimWorld. Holy crap. Crazy. Crazy. Well, that might be new. That might be new. Thing owned to make your wealth doesn't get too high. And that's a lot of stuff going wrong right in a row. That's definitely like domino effect sort of thing. Remember your April one now, Quasar? It's a rough, man. I think this is Smurf's last one for the month, for that month. 333. Given the major setback of the base partially burned down. Oh, so that was, you actually saved that base. Turned every resource into things like beds and shelves. Got Camp eaten by a warg though and had 5 people with brain damage. Was the brain damage from lances? Let's see why you want to forget. Your May run was even worse in terms of those things happening. It's a lot of beds, a lot of beds. You see how like towards the end it's like, all right, we don't have time to grow and harvest, so just don't grow anymore, sort of thing. Mostly from minor combat complications, really. All right, and that was the April one. One sec. Should I cut these separately? It's gonna be long if I don't. So, yeah, I guess I'll just cut this one, and then we'll do the May one. I have time to do the May one. I'll just cut it. So let me cut the recording there. So again, that was the April community challenge. So that one was 4 tribals that learned more slowly and researched more slowly. Pretty much some other things thrown in, and it was just about getting the most wealth. So the one after this, the May one, is the one that I actually set up all the stuff for on my end. So the other ones were borrowed from the German community with their permission. But the May one, which I'll tell you more about that one when I start the recording, but I almost made it even more terrible than I did. And Smurf luckily talked me out of it. Talked me out of it by just saying, I think we should maybe keep it a little bit more casual friendly. Like, all right. Let me split the recording.